Hello, Pauper fans. This is Mathonical, and you're joining me for round 3 of the Pauper Challenge, where I'm running some BorosSS Monarch. The opening hand, perfectly reasonable. It's a little on the slow side, a little clunky, because we've got a Searing Blaze, and we do need to get our double red online. And we're up against Kung Fu Trees. Going into this game, I had a suspicion that he was going to be on Elves today. And this hand, basically, it's going to need a little bit of help to go against Elves, but I'm just going to kind of hope that I can get there. If he's on a bit of a slower start, this has the card draw to dig into everything we need to eventually win. So I'm going to go ahead and keep this. Starting on the Ancient Den is the plan, because we want to cycle the Ash Barrens to start getting our red online. And we're just hoping that he doesn't have too explosive of a start, because we don't have any removal to kill anything crazy that comes down this turn. He plays the Priest, and that's a little unfortunate. I would like to remove that, because that's spelling that he can kind of go off next turn, getting a lot of mana and being able to Query Ranger to get multiple activations of it. Unfortunately, we only have the Searing Blaze and are not able to cast it on turn 2. So we're just going to go ahead and play the Thraben Spectre, because that's all we can do. And then because we drew the Boros Garrison, we're just going to get that down. And next turn we'll be able to Searing Blaze something. Anything that we really need to. And yeah, on our turn, we're just going to go ahead. I'm going to get the Glint Hawk down just to provide a little bit more of a force against the thing he's got going on. And here, unfortunately, I found this out last time I was recording it. The game actually breaks, or the game doesn't break. The replay of it does break. Got some illegal targets going on. So basically what happens from this point on, I'm pretty sure I didn't Searing Blaze the Priest, even though I kind of wanted to, because when he casts Lead the Stampede, these are the cards he revealed. I decided that I wanted to use the Searing Blaze on the Huntmaster instead, just to prevent ourselves from getting swarmed out. Does mean he's going to be able to spill out most of his turn, but I'm hoping that over the long term, we'd be able to stabilize if he doesn't have too much more action going on, because this isn't too threatening as long as the Huntmaster's gone. Unfortunately, it starts freaking out here, because I believe he drops a longbow and starts pinging off all of our creatures, because he's got enough mana to equip it, ping something, move it, ping it again, and it just kills our creature. Basically, we don't have any way of dealing with that main board. It's basically just going to kill all of our creatures, and there isn't much we can do about it. So I ended up playing this game out until he eventually ran us over with a bunch of Elves, because I just wanted to see what other spice he had going on in his deck. And yeah, sorry that you don't get to see much of game 1, but basically we got slaughtered, and that was about it for that one. So jumping into game 2, hopefully this one won't bug out. Sideboard. I didn't want the Seeker of the Ways. They're not going to do a whole bunch against Elves, in my opinion. Basically, they're going to have a bunch of little things in the way, and we want our flyers to get in for the damage. I also took out... Actually, that was... Oh yeah, I also got the Palace Sentinels, because they're going to be going... He's going to be going really wide with Elves. It'll be really hard to hold the Monarch against him. So let's not give him the opportunity to steal that away. I do bring in the Coalition Honor Guards. This is basically to turn off Query Rangers. I'm assuming he's going to have the +X for each elf you control card, so that will turn that off as well. It also makes it a bit harder for him to start bringing down our team with the longbow. Let's see. I also brought in the Gorilla Shamans. Basically, I did see that he had a tutor package with the Trinket Mage finding the longbow, and to be honest, I've got nothing in my deck that can stop that. So I brought in the Gorilla Shamans as a way of killing the longbow, since I know he has multiple ways of finding it, and pretty reliably too, since he's got Lead the Stampedes, and if he's got blue, very likely going to have the Distant Melody as well, which means he's got a lot of card draw, and if he finds the longbow, we don't have a way of winning through that, realistically. So the Shamans are hopefully a way to turn off that avenue of his winning. And that's it for the sideboard plan. Taking a look at our opening hand. Oh yeah, I also brought in the Electricaries. Somehow I missed that 2 games in a row, but yeah, of course we do want the Electricaries. That's great against Elves. Opening hand, we've got our defense against the longbow, we got electricity against the elves, and Skyfisher Prophetic Prism. So perfectly reasonable hand, going to be happy to keep this one. I of course don't want to drop the Gorilla Shaman until I see the longbow or until I know I can hold up enough mana to activate it in response to the longbow coming down. So that's not going to be played for a long time. But in the meantime, I'm going to be able to get down Prophetic Prism, start drawing cards. If he doesn't do anything too threatening here, I'm going to drop the core Skyfisher and bounce back to Prophetic Prism. And currently that's not too threatening. Just a bunch of mana elves. I'm a little tempted to Electricity this board just to turn off a bunch of his mana. But instead I'm just going to try and hold it for instant speed. If he doesn't do anything, I might just cash it in and kind of rely on the rest of my removal to kill his guys over time. He ends up playing a Penumbra Spider here, which means it's going to be a bit harder to kill him with our flyers, but I'm just going to go ahead and remove the rest of his creatures here. And I just basically don't want to be holding up the mana to stop any big turns. And if I'm not holding up mana, he could always just drop the Spider Silk Armor, which would turn off the electric in the future. So I'm just happy to get the 3 for 1 here. Well, 2 for 1 because I got a land. And I'm just going to develop my mana, draw some cards. So now I've got a bunch of removal and can continue to draw cards. Priest of Titania, we're definitely going to get rid of that. We don't want him having a bunch of mana available. So we're just going to go ahead and use the Searing Blaze. Not going to be able to get in any damage with a Skyfisher, unfortunately. And yeah. Penumbra Spider is going to slow us down quite a bit. Lee's Stampede is a great card for him to have there. He only ends up getting 2 cards off of it, so I'm not too concerned. Thankfully it was pretty good for us. Another Priest of Titania, we gotta remove that one as well. Just gonna go ahead and do that now. Alchemist File, drawing more cards, that sounds great. And the Coalition Honor Guard, that's gonna be pretty good. Gonna turn off the Quarian Ranger and any other targeting effects that he may have down the line. Next turn we can start attacking with both Skyfishers to chip in a little bit of damage over time. Hopefully he doesn't have much more going on, but because right now we know 3 of the cards in his hand. Drops the Morph, so now we know there's no Rangers. And oh yeah, the island isn't there either, so we know 1 of the 3 cards in his hand. Alright, drawing some additional cards. Gonna get in for the chip damage that we can, and then we're basically just gonna drop the Coalition Honor Guard to turn off Quarian Ranger. And just gonna skip through that. Hopefully it's not breaking again. It may be. Well, that's a little unfortunate. Oh, no, we got through. Excellent. Yeah, so the next draw step wasn't all that great. We only drew lands. Actually, it does look like the game broke again. That is... Oh, I guess no, he just didn't do anything there. Yeah, the game definitely broke again. That's rather unfortunate. We did get down the Coalition Honor Guard, and basically the next turn he did end up dropping a Spider Silk Armor. So basically it was going to turn off all of our attacks going forward. After that, basically I realized that we didn't have much in the way of a winning plan. So I did get down the Journey to Nowhere, I put it on the Spider, and I did attack in with both Skyfishers and the Honor Guard. He threw 3 of his creatures in front of a Skyfisher, so that way I traded like 1 for 1 there and got a bit of damage. But he ended up starting to go off. He had a Distant Melody in hand and was able to draw cards. He's able to get down some of the Nylea's Disciple to gain a bunch of life. And so basically we had no way of winning this one after he did that. It's just a matter of time before he eventually had enough creatures and was able to run us over. Unfortunately, we were not able to win this one. And unfortunately the replay is breaking, so I'm not able to show you the slow and steady running over that happened, where we got slowly crushed. But anyway, that was it for round 3. Currently 1 and 2, so definitely going to have to start running it back to make it into prizes. And I hope you'll join me for round 4. See you there.